Welcome back to another episode of Meant to Vent Podcast News. My name is Jaime, and what I like to do here, if you are new to the channel, is give my news reactions on crazy topics around the globe. I mean, there's so many conspiracies going on that are turning out to be true. I mean, crazy headlines every day. Who knows what else is hiding from our government and what else is going on and all these crazy things around these backdoor deals. But with that said, let's get on with these vents. It's time. So, apparently there is some brain control technology that actually exists right now. I ain't even playing. You guys can look this up. Do I know what it's called? No. Do I know what it does? Yes. Supposedly, allegedly, this brain-computer interface can make animals and other organic organisms pretty much puppets. They say it eliminates your sense of desire, which I guess is so powerful that that's what it makes you able to be controlled once they eliminate that ability of yours from yourself. So once you lose your ability of desire, they say they can control you. Like that's their door in. They're like, boom, we got you. Like that's how they get in. That's how they hack the brain. And so there's a book called The Battle for Your Brain by, I don't know if I pronounce her name right. So if I mess it up, you can get at me in the comments. But her name is Nina Farahany. Supposedly, I think that's it. And the book is pretty good, man. It's got some good stuff in there. And it's kind of got, she also was in a recent TED Talk where she speaks about these topics that are in her book about this supposed technology, Let's take a look at this for a minute. Let's say you're at your work and your brain activity is being monitored. Could you imagine that? Your performance is already being monitored. Maybe your work attitude, the way they say you work with others, maybe those were just the key words that you agree to so they could actually be tracking your brain activity, without you even knowing. So let's say you're at work and you're being highly productive, you're being the best you that you can be. You sit out there and then an email pops up while you're on your computer and it's like, hey man, I think right now is the best time to rest your brain. I've been in some of the newer vehicles, driving for work and things like that. And sometimes if you're driving for a long time and a little coffee cup pops up and it's like, hey man, you need to take a break. You've been driving way too long. It's kind of creepy. And some of these new cars have way too many notifications. You got to find them all to try to shut them off. I mean, this shit's annoying. But imagine being at work and they're telling you to shut your brain off for a minute. Take a little brain break. Some people have trouble sleeping because they can't take brain breaks, let alone you're going to be told to at work. But still, what if a crime was committed from a coworker? You are at a big corporation or a big company, just any type of company, for instance, but you have a lot of employees and somebody gets in trouble for a crime. Okay. And they're using this brain stuff, this brain technology stuff, this brain control stuff, and they're monitoring all your brain activity while you're at work, right? So then they start checking all the brain waves and all of the brain connections to this individual at work to see who he talks to and who he interacts with the most by checking all his brain data. That should not be allowed. Okay, because that's weird. What if you guys hung out at lunch all the time and you didn't even know my man was shady? How many people probably ate lunch or hung out with Dahmer before they knew he was eating penises and shit? I mean, whoa. Or how many other psychopathic serial killers were playing racquetball and basketball or anything like that, or coaching your kid's soccer team and they end up being psychos? You don't know. You just don't know. But if they're monitoring your brain activity, I guess they do know. This is just wild. You guys could be sitting there at lunch every day and then you're going to be susceptible to questioning and all these other crazy interrogations and things you're not ready for because of my man's brain activity. It had nothing to do with you. That's wild. Or what if you found another coworker or a client attractive and it's already against work policies, but it shows up on your brain data? You can't just simply keep it to yourself no more. You were doing the professional thing by tucking it in. Okay. You was oh, she's beautiful, or oh, he's super handsome. That guy's hot. I would like to talk to that guy, or she's so beautiful. Can't wait to see her again another time. You guys are having these weird interactions, but professionally, you're keeping it on the inside, right? Whether you're a female or male having these situations, but you won't be able to keep it to yourself anymore because of the brain data. That's wild. Like your performance review will show up like, hey man, you've been thinking way too much about this person. Or I'm like, what? Really? Like, but you're getting the job done, but they don't care because your brain data shows you're lacking focus. Like back in the day, there was an older movie with Jack Black and Ben Stiller. I think it was called Envy. And he made like the poo disappears, the spray, you know, the vaporize, you know, that thing. And they were like, where'd it go? And it was like up or something like that. It was like somewhere, whatever. But anyways, during this film in the beginning, like Ben Stiller was like the model employee of the film, you know, spoiler alert or whatever, just kind of like a little breakdown. It's an older movie, you know, you should have already seen it by now. So he's kind of like the model employee, and he goes up to Jack Black and he's like, look, according to this, you got to get your focus a little bit. And so these guys are up for review and they're saying like, you know, it's got all these charts, but most of these charts were like emotions. So they were like, your focus and happiness doesn't seem to be where it's up to par. And so he, you know, ends up going through all these things, and it's just creepy because they're going to be really doing this in real life. Like, apparently, according to this person who wrote the book and did the TED Talk, they ask you to ask yourself, is this a future that you're ready for? Because they say it's already happening. This system and software is in so many places and so many workplaces, and we have no idea. But when it comes to like, you wonder maybe why you didn't get that promotion, but everything else was up to par, or maybe you didn't get so-and-so, them brain activity waves was being tracked. Wow. That's interesting if this is true. Like, I mean, there's a lot of things this is why I've been kind of having fun with some of these, like what people call conspiracy theories or, you know, controversial topics with some of these things I've been talking about lately. Because, I mean, these are things that are supposedly actively happening in the real workplace of 2025, like right now. And it was, I guess, like years, it's been going on in years. And now it's being implemented in more and more places without y'all even knowing. That's interesting. This is interesting stuff and scary at the same time. Like, they just want you to walk around like emotionless zombies, you know, like, how are you going to do that? They'll be like, we know how, you know, we can attack your thing that shows desire, you know, then we're going to make you this controllable puppet. It's insane. I mean, wow. It makes you feel like, it makes me feel like, personally, I can't speak for everybody, but this makes me feel more like maybe there is some kind of weird, powerful race that came here a long time ago and just like decided like we have all these rules now and you know, we're just changing the game. Like, when did everybody decide, like when we were all farmers or, you know, gathering food and berries and stuff for ourselves, and then all of a sudden somebody showed up and they were like, look, man, your clothes ain't right. You need zippers and shit. And like money. Like, it's like, and you know what? You're going to have to fucking work for this shit. When all we did was like migrate the planet, you know, and then go and find places for eating. And if it got cold, you want to, you know, prepare for weather and things like that. Like, we were just doing that. And then for some reason, somebody out of nowhere, like, it wasn't some dude with a bow and arrow throwing sticks and rocks at animals for hunting, decided like, let's make this $1. You know what I'm saying? Well, you know, it would be cool if we all just have to work for shit. Besides right there, like, what if we work for that guy's food? Like, where did that happen? And that's what makes me feel like there's some kind of weird civilization that came here along and just was like, you know what? We can make these guys do everything for us. And they won't even realize what the fuck we're doing. So like, they're mining all our fucking natural resources and we got to pay for it. And we get tired doing it. We got to mine all our food and prepare all our food. And we got to pay a bunch for it. When back in the day, we was like farming and hunting and stuff. And then somebody decided, hey, we need to put this in a building because you got to pay for this stuff now. Like, where did that do that? Because that dude needs to get fired. We didn't fire that guy. Go back. We need to go back. You know, like, what's up with that? Like, you don't talk about that history when there was no money. You always talk about like, oh, that must have been like in biblical times. It wasn't. It wasn't in biblical times. Like, somebody came around here and just said, fuck that. You know, like, we're going to make somebody pay for shit. And then, like, you had to go to jobs. Like, we have to go to jobs. And then we had to do these things called taxes. Wow. I think it was just whoever started that is messed up. Like, wherever you came from, you know, that would be my racist comment. You need to go back where you came from. Like, wherever you're from, you know? Man. Well, My name is Jaime, and this has been another episode of Mentivent Podcast News. Till next time, see ya.